Do you like it?
Yeah,
a lot.
Yep.
It's fun. You getting on the computer, looking up stats,
Yep.
seeing who's injured, not injured.
Yep.
Who are some of the players on your team?
Kobe,
LeBron James,
Amari Scott,
Ray Allen.
Who's your best player?
I gotta say Ray Allen.
Ray Allen?
I gotta say my boy Kobe.
Yeah. Do you give out any prizes to the students?
I do. They get the, number one, I always tell them they get the respect of the other players in the classroom. And then I do have like a little prize drawer that they can, there's candy or erasers or pencils, whatever they want. Some of my classes they forget to ask because they're just more excited about beating everybody else. It's just the natural competitiveness of a game.
What number would you rate your interest in math before fantasy basketball?
Probably a 4.
After playing fantasy basketball, what rating would you give math?
10 now.
I've seen him become more interested in math because it has to do with sports and not just coming in and working out of a book or just off of paper, and working a lot faster than what they usually do. They're not just sitting there, oh, I guess I'll do this or I won't do this, and they just get in and do it and they're done.
Have your friends or family members been interested in it at all?
Yeah, my little brother has.
Your brother has?
Yeah.
Exciting and fantastic for these kids and the teachers. And they have a lot less discipline issues because the kids are excited about it.
Do you think math is important?
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Because when you get on your own, you get your own money. People can't like try to rip you off,
Yep.
or people can't like when you go to the store,
They
you
can't.
get something, you know how much you should get back.
Yeah, like change.
Yeah.
Not only with this helps with math, it's also vocabulary as well, because they're learning a lot of terms and vocabulary that they've never used or heard of, and their writing skills. So it hits on many different points. They can see the cause and effect to real life.
Do you think Kobe uses math?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think he uses math for?
By seeing how much points he has and like how much money he makes.
Students are empowered with things to talk about with general ed students. So say in the cafeteria, instead of sitting at their own table, they mix with other students and they sit down and say, hey, did you watch that game? And they start talking about individual players, and they know enough about what's going on to be able to hold a conversation. And the general ed students really respond well and are able to sit down and enjoy a lunch with them, whereas I don't think that would typically happen if they didn't have this, topic of conversation to jump off with. I think the social piece is just as important to them as they learn to practice good social skills and interact with others in an appropriate and positive way, that they feel confident with themselves and what they know, and are able to really enjoy that positive interaction during their day.
Just to look at an equation and know that a letter can equal a number. I didn't know if they would ever be able to grasp that concept. And it was just really exciting because I don't think that if I would have used a standard textbook that they would have got it. This definitely related to them. They could look at the sports and be like, okay, P equals points, and Kobe had 34 points, so they knew how to plug that in. And just seeing that was really exciting for me, and that's when I knew I could really run with this.
These are students that for years have been given a textbook and told to do numbers 1 through 30 and have experienced, not very positive results. They have been challenged to the point where they want to give up and instead present behavioral problems in the classroom or just shut down. And this is a way that in the classroom they're not only having a good time, they're having fun, but they're learning and it's safe. And as a result, they're really encouraged and feel like they're learning something and can feel proud about that. I think a challenge in special education is that it's really difficult to find age-appropriate curriculum that is at their level. So oftentimes if a student is having challenges in math and they're reading and doing the problems at a lower level, the curriculum starts to look very young, say for an elementary student. And the big joke is that there would be rabbits or cars on the curriculum, and it's not very inspiring or relevant to a high school student. It's not very meaningful to them. So I think with this new curriculum, it really provides this age-appropriate, high interest leveled information that they can really grasp onto, and they then, you know, are empowered by that. And that's really neat to watch. And they, I think, as a result, also become much more involved in what they're learning, and you see that inspiration hit where they're ready to go and really try to learn more.
So how do the students feel when they get to compete against you, their teacher?
They love it. I mean, they love to put me in my place, and they love to beat the teacher. I mean, who doesn't?
Maybe something that hasn't been touched on is how this has empowered the teacher too. I think as teachers you get really frustrated because you're constantly trying to find curriculum, and you're constantly trying to think of ideas that will help your students learn, and you're battling with a lot of different challenges and variables like different learning styles, different personalities, the amount of funding and resources that you have available to you. And I think something that I've noticed in Amy as a second-year teacher is that she has just been completely inspired and excited and ready to go with this. And every day she comes to me and hunts me down in the hall somewhere and says, "Hey, Elise, I've got putting up a basketball hoop in my classroom. Got to come check it out." Or, "Hey, Elise, you got to come see what, you know, LeVar did in class today." And she's very excited about what the kids are doing. And that, as an administrator, is really great to see that teachers are involved and excited about what our students are learning. I think that also enhances our school community.
Do the girls like beating the boys?
They do. They rub it in their faces. I mean, they're very enthusiastic. And at the same time, the boys do it to the girls.
And what is this I hear about students are shooting baskets inside your room?
They are. I put up a little mini hoop, and you can shoot different point levels, 1 through 4, depending on how far away from the hoop you are. And so we took that and put it all on the board, and they converted it into a graph. If my students can learn the terminology and know how to read box scores, then, you know, anybody can. It's not that hard. And I'm going to do the football next year, and I know nothing about football. And it's pretty self-explanatory once you read over it, and it's set up well.
I want to keep doing it. I don't want to stop.
Neither. I enjoyed it.
You would take more math classes in the future because of what you've learned.
Yes, I do. I think I do. I will.
I would probably too.